All right, so this is going to be one of those videos where, I talk about a game and people are going to get all mad and, you know, at me. So, first off, couple disclaimers. First one, this is Smash JT. So, if I'm reading it and you hear something you don't like, that's not me saying it. I am reading words on a screen here. Okay? So, if I'm not giving my personal opinion and I'm reading this and you hear something you don't like, that's not me. If you have a problem, take it up with the manager. Second, the people who like to come to these videos and say, oh, why was this slop recommended to me? Oh, this fucking dude needs to get... You do realize why it was because of people like you. Because you click on the video, it was in your recommended. Doesn't mean you have to click on it. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, and you decided to click on it. And then you engaged with it even further by disliking it and leaving a stupid comment, which means that is going to be pushed more into the algorithm. So the best way to keep my slop out of your recommended and off of other people's, don't interact with me. Just don't interact with me. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting recommended this slop. Seriously, these fucking people come here thinking that's some kind of insult. Whether it's some, disliking or negative comments, it's engagement. It's engagement, which is going to tell YouTube, hey, we should recommend this channel or recommend this video. So go ahead. Go ahead. Keep thumbing it, disliking and leaving stupid comments. You're only helping me. Which, I mean, doesn't really even matter. I don't get paid for this anyway. Anyway, Avowed is dead on arrival. Isn't anyone surprised? I know I'm not. Avowed, a massive disappointment for Microsoft and Obsidian. Maybe if a certain Matt Hansen had kept his mouth shut. Now I'm sure... Actually, where has Matt Hansen been? Has anyone seen him? He hasn't been seen in a while. Has anyone seen the guy? Can we do a wellness check? Because partially this failure is due because of him, because he couldn't keep his mouth shut. But Avowed has officially released to all players following its 5-day early access period, and the numbers are painting a pretty grim picture. With only 1,500 players this is worldwide. Steam at launch, Avowed is looking more and more like it's already an undeniable flop. And I've been watching Az play it. He said it's significantly better than the Veilguard, which isn't really saying much. To put it into perspective, that's about 8 times less players than the disastrous Dragon Age the Veilguard saw it at peak. Yeah, Veilguard only got less than 90,000. So, saw it at its peak. And while the weekend hasn't come yet, the numbers will most likely rise from here, but not by a lot. It's not going to be a drastic change. It's, what was it? What's the exact number? Yeah. If I see numbers rising, it's going to be maybe 20,000 most. So these are not the numbers you want. And again, you can thank Matt Hansen for this crap, and anyone at Obsidian who decided to open their fucking mouths. This is what happens when you alienate the gamer, when you push the customer away. Now they're all going to be sitting there. Duh, what happened? It's just a bunch of phobes, is and isms. That's what happened to this game. It's not because we couldn't keep our mouths shut. It's not because we pushed away the gamer. No, it's because of them. They're phobes, is and isms, and far-right extremists. The numbers will blah, 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 blah. Many folks are expecting Avowed to not surpass the peak. Yeah, I'm saying 20,000 at most. 20,000 at most. Because people understand that it is the weekday, but I've said before, do not underestimate people. People will stay home to play a game. Like, they will not go to work to play a game. So the weekend we said the same thing with the Fail Guard. That it wasn't going to get much more during the weekend because people were like, "Oh my God, it's going to get so much during the weekend. You guys you're just mad because it was released on a Thursday and people aren't playing it. It's going to get huge numbers on the weekend," and then it never did. It never did. This was all of it. So once again, we were right. What was once hyped by many shills leading up to release as the potential new RPG heavyweight has instead turned into what looks to be a colossal failure, exposing the cracks in both Microsoft's Game Pass strategy and Obsidian's overall ability to deliver a game that resonates in today's market. Game Pass, the silent killer of game sales. One of the biggest culprits behind Avowed's failure is the Game Pass model itself. While the service provides easy access to some new titles for subscribers, it at the same time also kills any sense of urgency or value in actually purchasing games in the first place. Why spend $70 or more on a game after taxes when you can just play for free with a lower price subscription? A subscription that, let's be honest, most gamers will pick up and drop to a month-to-month basis or participate in every couple of years. The result, a game that launches with an extremely weak player engagement, little to no hype, and no long-term financial incentive to make up for its shortcomings. Microsoft's insistence on day one Game Pass release continues to erode the traditional game sales model and could eat away at the video game industry in general. Yeah, people in the comments have kind of said things about the Game Pass, how it's kind of a mixed thing for them. It's like, I like it, but also it's it's like a double-edged sword for them, really. Players aren't buying any games anymore because of the subscription model has conditioned them not to. But then the problem compounded when the games themselves aren't strong enough to keep players engaged for the long haul. Yeah. Between not just on release, which is always full of bugs that the gamers are expected to find, not the people who get paid to do it. No, the gamer. Stories that are just not engaging, characters that are just not relatable or likable, gameplay that feels more like mobile games than an actual AAA game. And then these companies wonder why no one wants to play their games anymore. The modern politics thrown in. And then they sit around and again, they'll call gamer phobes and isms because no one's playing their crap game. Well, maybe make a better product and people will play it. I mean, wasn't that the old business model for companies? Make a game people will play, and people will play it. People play game, make lots of money. Make lots of money, become rich. Get rich, make good games. It's just a circle. But no, now it's like, make crappy game, force, insist that people buy crappy game for $70, release game with bugs, game-breaking glitches, crap storytelling, and whatever else. Expect gamer to enjoy it, and then blame gamer when game fails. The perfect business model. By most accounts, Avowed doesn't exactly offer a deeply compelling experience to make it worth a full price purchase. And with so many other great games that have come before it, like Dragon Age: The Fail Guard. Such a wonderful game. Such a great game. Big PP numbers. Compared to Skyrim on Steam right now, a game that has been a decade old and is the same style of gameplay, is seeing a concurrent player count of now around 70,000 people, which is insane for a game that's 10 years old. 10 years old, and has more than a current AAA game, AAA title. This is exactly why what my insider at Obsidian hinted at months ago. Internally, the sentiment was that the game was merely barely above average. And a game, again, people are tired of a mediocre subpar product. People are not going to pay $70, $80 for a barely above average. If you're female, they want that game to get them fucking pregnant. They want it to be that fucking good. Dudes want the game to be so amazing, it makes them just fucking come right then and there because of how awesome it is. We don't want some kind of like, okay. I mean, I don't know why I wasted $70 on this. I should have just waited for it to go on sale. It's not good enough for $70, but I mean, a game out of time. Back to the Future. I love to see the DeLorean riding around in this kind of fucking situation. And speaking of games, Zelda, not the game. Zelda, come on. For people who don't know, this is my princess Zelda. Her name, yes, is Zelda. Hey, Zelda. Mwah. Grandpa's working hard. Mwah. She's like, can I join you, Grandpa? Why don't you just go lay down on the bed? Mwah. Such a grandpa's girl. Mwah. Had Avowed been released back in 2010 or so, as the successor to Oblivion, gamers would have celebrated it as an instant classic. But it's 2025, the game feels by many to be outdated and uninspired. While it borrows elements from Skyrim, it fails to deliver the same level of immersion and depth. Instead of being a fantasy RPG that fans expected, Avowed has turned out to be more of an action RPG in the vein of Kingdoms of Amalur or Elderborn, where action comes first and RPG mechanics feel secondary, which shouldn't be like that in an RPG. You know, if you're playing an RPG, you expect RPG elements to be first and foremost, not, yep, they're the side character. They may pop up sometimes. You know, pop up, taunt you a bit, tell you that, you know, show you how many badges they have and how you'll never catch up to them. You know that. You know, they're not a side character. RPG should be first and foremost in an RPG. Isn't that right, Zelda? This shift in a key factor is the mixed reception. The game doesn't offer any of the narrative depth of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or the open world exploration of Skyrim. No. Instead, players get this mid-tier experience with small, segmented area disguised as a larger open world. What initially appears to be a vast, explorable map is actually just 4 separate zones of roughly equal size. Which, I gotta be honest, is hardly the sprawling adventure anyone was asking for. And who's that now? Oh, Sam. You don't talk about Sam here. The illusion of critical success. Despite holding a Metacritic score of 80, Avowed's ratings feel artificially... Gee, you think? Because it's, you know, IGN, Kotaku, PC Gamer, Eurogamer, all these outlets that shill for these games anyway. Yeah, that's why it's artificially... that. Even if they don't like the game, they're gonna keep saying it's good because they keep getting early access to this stuff and they get paid for this. So naturally, they're going to start, oh, yes. Why do you think IGN always goes with a safe 7? You know, because 7s are still good. A closer look at the scores reveals a pattern eerily similar to what happened to Dragon Age: The Failguard. Numerous perfects, 100s and 95s for professional reviewers, while the general player base overall has been less forgiving. The sentiment surrounding the game is one where it's not the worst game ever, far from it, but as a friend of the channel Hypnotic put it, the game is the definition of mid. The stark contrast between critic and player reception is becoming a trend in modern gaming, and it signals a growing distrust between consumers and the gaming media. The reality check comes when user reviews inevitably come out and will, by all accounts, tell a different story. What's next for Obsidian and Microsoft? Microsoft and Obsidian can't be pleased with their numbers, I'd imagine. Yeah, they're not. Again, these are companies that used to be big. Like, they would just create one banger after another, after another. Now look at them. You have these gaming giants like Ubisoft. Everything they've put out in the last year has been shit. Obsidian. People are like, yeah, Obsidian used to be great. Like, these companies used to be great. Mwah. Zelda.
What is it, my baby? My princess?
Yeah, she's like, I'm Grandpa's princess. Look at that face. She's making biscuits on my ankle. You know, digging her nails into my skin. Yeah, you're a very sweet girl. Can I help you? Come on. You look so tiny on camera. You look so large next to me, and yet, yep, there she goes. She disappears as she lays down. Yeah, these gaming giants, and now they're just like shells of what it's kind of like Disney, you know, even though they're not a gaming company. It's just like that. They used to be huge. They used to be a company that others would look at like, yeah, this is the pinnacle of what they do, of what, you know, Hollywood or you know, that industry can do. But now these companies are just hollow shells of themselves, and it's, you know, it um woke is dead, fake news has been exposed, and the consumer base is fully aware of the liberal agenda poisoning entertainment. This game will fail just like the rest. No one wants to buy this garbage anymore. Game Pass is just an excuse to make shitty games. Happy the woke garbage like this flopped. It's in a broken state, even normies will avoid it. Yeah, again, if you want to say the game was great and you enjoyed it, that's awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it, but numbers don't lie. This is worldwide right now. Worldwide. Not in a country or a town or state. Worldwide. Does this seem like a good, out of the billions upon billions of people in this world, does this look like a good number? No, it's not. Because people are tired of it. People are tired of companies coming out and having people like Matt Hansen sit there like, oh, you're just a bunch of phobes and isms, and oh, you think the pronouns are the worst. Wait till you get in game and blah blah blah. Wait till you see the default, and stuff like that. You know, exposing their obvious agenda by saying, oh yeah, if you're black and you've got a portfolio, you take priority for me because this place is run by too many crusty white dudes. And, you know, you just expose yourself and you're just turning people off to your company. So again, these people are going to sit around blaming the gamer when it is, in fact, their fault. Isn't that right, Zelda? No, you never have to worry about a bad game, do you? Because every Zelda game's a great game, except for the CDI games. Those games are ass. But they weren't made by Nintendo, so yeah. She's like, I'm happy to be named after a princess so revered and beloved, and a game franchise that's been around for 40 years and has succeeded because they don't change the formula. They continue just to make it a good game. You're never going to see Link struggling with an existential freaking identity crisis. See how I took the cat's name and transitioned that? Transition, like Link is trying to do. You know, into what gaming is now. I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? But yeah, keep the games fun. That's why Nintendo has succeeded for 40 plus years, because they make games that are fun. No matter, you can, whatever you want to say about their business strategy, when it comes to making games, they can make games. That's why they have so many IPs that are still known and beloved today. Zelda, Mario, Donkey Kong, Kirby, Metroid, Star Fox. Because they make the games fun. They leave out the modern political bullshit and they focus on what makes the game a game. The entertainment value, the being able to pick it up and play it at any age. And yet these people just continue they just want to, oh, we need to add in modern terminology like non-binary, and oh, this one's going to be struggling with their transgender ideology and their identity, and oh, we should make a game about Orange Man bad. And then the game fails. It's like, oh, why is the game failing? It's all those freaking Trump supporting chuds and the far right extremists and all those phobes and Zelda, what was that? What was that? You just like lunged into me. So I'm not surprised it failed. We saw this coming ages ago, Dragon ages ago. And if you enjoy the game, great. But numbers don't lie, and just because you like the game doesn't make it a success. Maybe you should go out and buy the game 100 million more times, and then the game will be a success. But just saying you like it doesn't mean anything. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you're having a good time, but it doesn't make the game a success. It doesn't make the game a financial success, because you liking it isn't making their stocks go up. So, you know, you liking it isn't going to prevent people from losing their jobs when this game fails to the point where they haven't made any money and now they have to lay people off. Okay? So, great. You enjoyed the game. I'm happy. Super. I'm glad you liked it. Maybe you go tell them to not lay off those nice people in about a month. But please don't lay them off. I like the game. But anyway, that's going to do for me and Zelda. Zelda, you want to say goodbye? Yeah? All right. So, we have Zelda. So, that's going to do it for me. Zelda. Like, bye, guys. That's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.